Okay, well, we will go ahead and get started. We'd like to welcome Collin Morikawa to the Media Center here at the Charles Schwab Challenge. Collin, thanks for joining us for a few minutes. You're making your third start here at Colonial and coming off a runner-up in 2020. Wanted to get the year right. Just some thoughts on being back here at Colonial this week and kind of how you're feeling about your game.
Yeah, love this place. I mean, I've been here since 2018, kind of for the Hogan Award, and I was able to speak on Monday at the Hogan Award again to kind of bring back some good memories and talk to a few college kids who, you know, are the best in the world. And to just kind of bring back those memories, I was able to draw back on a lot of things that I did in college that I kind of hope to play and bring to, you know, the golf course in this tournament, because it's been a little off. As of late, I've just been a little bit frustrated, but it was kind of cool to see what Bones had to say to JT last week, because, you know, a lot of us, even though we don't know it, sometimes we're all going through the same issue of, you know, you just set really high standards for yourself, and at the end of it, it's just, let's go out and play golf. So games felt good, practice felt good, but, you know, I've said that for the past 2 months, and the results really haven't been there. So I'm just going to go out and kind of focus on the little processes to get to, you know, playing some good golf.
Well, it has been a good year. I know you've got the things you want to work on, but 6 top 10 finishes, including the 5th most recently at the Masters. Are there specific things that you're kind of tweaking or that kind of have your attention about your game more than others?
You know, it kind of varies. It varies by week, depending on what course you're at and what it challenges in part of your game. But for me, like my ball striking really hasn't been there to where I want it and where I feel comfortable. And then just putting, you know, still putting, trying to feel a little more comfortable over putts and chips. And I mean, I could talk about every aspect of my game, but there's really no need to. That's just what we do, and every week's different. So hopefully, you know, I just kind of find a couple clicks, you know, over the past couple days and today to kind of get ready for tomorrow.
Okay, all right. Well, with that, we'll open it and take a few questions. We've got microphones. If y'all would just pop your hand up, we'll get a microphone to you. We'll start with Drew.
Drew Davison for Star Telegram. Collin, coming off a major week and how much work and whatnot goes into that, just how do you kind of recoup and get ready on a short week, so to speak, and getting ready for this tournament?
Yeah, I mean, when you have a finish like I did last week, it kind of puts you into a position where you want to grind. I want to keep grinding even more, right? I mean, I'm not satisfied with how I played last week, and I want to figure it out, especially at 2 places coming up here at Colonial next week at Muirfield that I've had success, I've played well at, and I feel like they're courses that kind of I enjoyed throughout the year. So hopefully something is just able to spark, you know, whether it's just remembering some past shots, being at a place that I like to be at. There's a lot of that's involved that sometimes that's out of your control, but I want to be in control of the things that's in front of me, right? My swing, my golf game, and hopefully we can just kind of piece together a few things for this, you know, start of tomorrow.
Collin, obviously you almost won here 2 years ago in 2020, and then you had 2 wins. I want to say it was the Workday, and then you had the PGA. Just looking back to that tournament here, how big of that was, or how much motivation did you find from that almost getting it done here to the success you had afterwards?
Yeah, I mean, it sucked to miss that 3.5, 4-footer, right? But it taught me so much, and it taught me a lot, especially when I did win the Workday tournament at Muirfield in the playoff against JT like that. Like, I didn't want to lose that playoff no matter what it took, right? And obviously he made a big putt on me. I made a putt after him. But I was going to do whatever it took to just not get ahead of myself. And that kind of progressed and just kept telling me, you know, it's not over till it's over, right? And that's what the biggest issue I made 2 years ago was I was like, oh, you know, we're going to make this 3.5-footer go on to the next hole. And there it was, tournament was over, I lost, finished second. So that taught me a lot for even now. And I still have to remember that because sometimes you do get a little lazy and sometimes you forget about a couple things that, you know, you don't want that to happen just for you to remember it again. You know, it already happened once. Hopefully I learned again from it.
Rex?
Collin, there was a lot of discussion last week about the sand in the bunkers and how it was just different than what you find week in and week out, probably a little bit more of a penalty. Do you have any thoughts on maybe if that was good or bad?
Yeah, I'm kind of indifferent. I I think every week, I mean, I can't think of a golf course where the next week is exactly the same. Like for me, I'm always like trying to test out the sand, just like how we know we're going to play in different grasses. I think it's just a sand that like none of us have ever seen, and it was a lot harder to get a lot more spin. I mean, you didn't really see, you know, the clippy sand shots that some guys can always hit. So no, I mean, I think it played fair. Like you weren't getting bad lies. I wasn't getting bad lies. I was getting good lies in the bunkers. You know, I've seen places where, you know, you see someone after they rake it, or even in the morning when they rake it and you're already getting a bad lie. Maybe that's a little more penal than I think last week. Last week you got good lies. It was just harder to play out of them, which in reality it just makes you play to certain parts of the green a little bit more. And sometimes you get short-sighted and, you know, it's going to play the penalty it should.
Buddy, good? Okay, easy enough. Well, Collin, thanks for your time. We appreciate it, and certainly wish you the best of luck this week.
Thank you.